Hello, how you doing? Yes, the stream has started. No, nobody cares, but that's good. I care. Hi there, science cares. Good to see you. How you doing? Everyone cares. It's a big thing. It's 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Time for a Kench Niner stream. What are we gonna do today? Well, I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you all about it right at the top of the stream. While we're letting people gather into the arena, I'm gonna take my first sip of Diet Coke of the entire day, of the whole day. I woke up at 5 in the morning thinking about Diet Coke. I didn't really. Honestly, I don't care about Diet Coke until directly before the stream. It's pretty good. That's a tasty beverage. Everyone should go right now, leave the stream, go to your nearest store, and at any store that sells things will have Diet Coke available. I recommend you purchase all the Diet Coke that is available at that store. You know what I mean. Anyway, the point is, what's the stream? Okay, I got the beautiful Bluetooth controller. We're going to be flying around a Microsoft Flight Simulator. Got some new content to look at that we have never seen before. The first human beings on the planet to ever see this content. It was recommended to me by Hobie Gal. It's a downloadable Victoria Falls package. What do you call it? A scenery package. And today we are going to, I downloaded it. I finally downloaded it. I've been talking about it for a week or two. Today's stream will combine, at least the flying part will combine two of my favorite things. Two of the things I love the most. Flying around in the Magni Gyro and seeing new content for the first time and enjoying Hobie Gal's recommended to me. Okay, three things I love to do. Flying around the gyro, observing new content for the first time, enjoying Hobie Gal's recommendations for things, and the Spanish Inquisition. Wait, four things. Wait a minute. What does the Spanish Inquisition have to do with anything? I'll tell you. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Anyway, let's move on. All right, so the next thing after the flying around will be about an hour. We're gonna be doing the big brain games. I'm not optimistic. Hold on a second here. But you never know. It could, because it's going to be hard. The trivia game for sure will be hard. Oosh. And then there'll be a short break, and then I'm going to drag my piano in, which is sitting right over there. You can't see what I'm pointing if I did this. That direction. Not this piano, though. That one over there. You can't see it. Anyway, I'll just bring it over here, slap it down on my X-Brace stand. Magically, it is going to transform into Ken's Mellow Piano Lounge. But before we do that, I want to do this. I'm going to be doing this every stream for about a week or two, which is showing off the Lego. On the off chance that nope, not everyone has seen my latest Lego build. It's the One Piece Going Merry ship from Netflix show One Piece, which is based on, of course, the anime and manga, which is extensive. But I just got one of our famous girl streamers a Nami cosplay. So I don't know if I want to mention her right now, but the point is, yeah, she's going to be getting a Nami cosplay. We'll have to see, but yeah, I'm like, yeah, if it's One Piece related, I definitely want to see it. Nami's got the kind of orange hair, and then there's these other guys here. Of course, the lead pirate is Monkey D. Luffy. He's the Straw Hat Pirate there. It's a real fun show. But one of the fun things is I showed some of the other compartments the other day, but I didn't show the cargo compartment. It's really hard to get to because of the sails. But I think I can get it. Okay, yeah, okay. There's a cargo compartment. Oh, no. I'd have to move the character off, I think. All right? Oh, no, I should be able to get it off. There we go. Yeah, I do need to move this character. I'm going to move him up here. That's Usopp. Okay, now I can release this little cover here. This little cover here comes off to display that there's a cargo hold. And inside the cargo hold is a bunch of stuff. There's like a croissant and a banana and a bunch of fruit and stuff in there. It's all Lego. And then there's a bunch of these wanted posters. I will get into that later. But the point is, it's kind of cool that there is a cargo hold, a secret cargo hold. You have to know about it, that you construct. And then you can, and again, there's also a hidden thing. Oh yeah, and there's also the treasure chest. Didn't show that the other day. There's a little treasure chest. Of course, pirates have treasure. It's not really that treasuring. It's like like a drumstick and things like that. All right, and then you got the guy who has 3 swords. He's got 2 black handled swords and a white handled sword. It's kind of cool. And it's what's his name? It's a great kit. I really enjoyed building it. I'm looking forward to building some new Lego, but I got to wait till to something that really kind of speaks to me, like this kit does. My friend Kelly's coming over later, and so I can impress her with that. I don't think she's seen it before. I'm pretty sure she hasn't. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Oh, no, wrong. There we go. Okay, so there's me, and here is a Microsoft 2024 main screen here. We're going to go into free flight. Let's see if we can do this here. I'm going to switch over to the Magni. It's pretty much my default. If I'm going to be observing, looking at new scenery that we haven't seen before. It was also recommended by Hobie Gal as a good one. Where is it? It's around here somewhere. It's under M here. Is Magni Gyro. We're gonna pick a color. I might have a delivery coming. Let me just check that. Hello. I hope it's gonna load. There we go. It actually did load. All right. We got blue, dark red, gray, green, light red, blah blah blah. Medium quasar blue. I mean, gosh. No, this is boy. It's a little slow today. I wonder if my internet connection is a little overloaded. I'm gonna check something here. Hold on a second here. Yeah, oh yeah, I see what's going on here. This needs to be off. There we go. All right. One check. Check the old flip phone. We'll get into it. We got plenty of time here. I'm not in a giant hurry. Stream's gonna go on for a couple hours. Your order is on its way. And we'll be there. Hold on. Give me a second. Well, everything's slow. About 11 minutes. Okay. So I should have an order of something arriving. All right. In about 11 minutes, which is good, I guess. All right. Give me a second here. All right. So we picked the Magni Gyro. And now we have to do something a little tricky, which is find Victoria Falls. Anybody here know where it is? It's somewhere in Africa, is my understanding. It's kind of Central Africa. I have it over here on my Google Maps, so I should be able to kind of locate the terrain in general. Okay, so where is that big long here? It's there. There's Livingstone. Yes, it's right around here. Victoria Falls, perfect. All right, so there's a little town called Victoria Falls there, and there's that. This is the falls. There's a little camp airport. There's an airstrip. The Victoria Falls is up here. There's a little airstrip there. We can operate on something very tiny. Let's start a little south. This Victoria Falls. Well, actually, that's a major airport, which is fine. All right, we'll set that as departure. We're going to start off the runway. We're going to make it not in the middle of the night. Let's see if I can adjust this here. There we go. There we go. Make it kind of daytime so we can explore the Victoria Falls. By the way, this is add-on content that you download from flightsim.to. You have to pay. It's not free. $14. I had to work really hard at my job as a software engineer for the bank to afford this. So I hope it's good. But it was been recommended. All right. Let's see. Start flight. Looks like I got everything here set up correctly, but we'll find out in a second. I love the Magni Gyro. It's a very realistic rendition of this very unusual and interesting craft here. As you can see, it looks a little like a helicopter, but then it's got a propeller. It doesn't have any rear rotor. It's got a propeller on the back. That rotor is unpowered. It just kind of flaps in the wind. Well, mainly unpowered. We do have a rotor pre-spin function, which we'll be getting into here. But mainly, you got a Rotax engine that directly operates that 4-blade propeller. You can see the water cooler and all that stuff in there. All right, let's get in the plane and start firing it up. That is based on a real actual thing. It's not a fantasy aircraft. All right, turn your battery on. Start power. Turn all these switches on here. Let's see. We don't care about any of these. That's all good. Okay, so our throttle working. Yeah, okay, throttle to there. Make sure your rotor brake is on. Parking brake is on. Let's see. I think we can start the engine. It does fire right up. It's nice and quiet from the inside, but you can hear it fire up from the outside. So the engine doesn't start the rotor turning, but we do have a rotor pre-spin function. But you can see how thin that rotor is, and it kind of flaps in the wind very realistically, and it kind of bends down. Once that rotor gets spinning and actually provides the lift to move to get us in the air, it'll start bending up quite a bit too. It's a really cool simulation. So there's our little 2-passenger Magni Gyro, again, based on an actual real plane. So we're going to be flying north out of wherever the heck we are. Let's see. Oh, yeah, we got to turn this stuff on here. Transponder to ground. Comm 1 is on. We can tune Victoria Falls ground. We're going to be heading north to Victoria Falls.
Victoria Falls ground. KNSH 9er, 9er with India. Request taxi for takeoff. North departure.
Which way do you want to go?
Taxi to and hold short of runway 12 using taxiway Alpha.
One of these ways.
Contact tower on 121.1.
It's a very long runway. We don't need it. We don't need a long runway. But we got it. This is like definitely a runway for large jets. You can imagine Victoria Falls is a popular tourist destination for people who want to come to Africa and see something really amazing. I've never seen it before. And again, apparently in the actual game, if you don't pay for this add-on content, it does not look very impressive, apparently, which I understand. All right, we're gonna start getting ready to take off. It's a very unusual sequence. I love it. First of all, we don't need anywhere near this whole runway, not even close. Oops. Let's try to stay on the path here. The other thing is you want to be careful. Oh, we don't want to run that over. When you turn, got to be careful. It is a little top heavy. So we're not moving that fast, but we're getting there. All right, so we're gonna head out this way. Hopefully it'll let us just take off from here. Well, let's see. If we get up to like here. Or the runway is down there. Oh, okay. All right, we're a ways from this runway. Let's get up here. But that's fine. We won't need. It's just a nice long one. I like the taxi part. It sort of helps you anticipate the actual flying part. You can really feel the bumps in the road and the fact that you're not flying. You're just driving on the ground. Join your Diet Coke pre-flight. We'll have a couple flights today, too. I really want to get back to the ranch. I really want to see how the ranch is doing. We haven't been there in a couple weeks, and I just want to make sure it hasn't been taken over by bandits. You never know. All right, we're just going to go up to this here. We don't need to use the whole runway. So we're going to go up to this turn-in. This turns into the runway here. This is a definitely kind of bumpy taxiway here. Feel every bump in the taxiway. Here's the runway right ahead of us here. Turning up, getting ready to request takeoff clearance from Clarence. Here we are. I think we can do it right now, right? We should have not a lot of traffic out here. It wants us to go to the end of the runway. We do not need to. We got so much runway. We're cleared. Nice. All right, so we're going to get to the runway, and then we're going to operate the rotor pre-spin feature. It's pretty cool, which is an actual thing in this plane. I was a little skeptical, but I looked up the data. Okay, so there's a way to get the. Normally, you wouldn't necessarily. It actually really shortens the distance because we're going to be taking to the left here. Really shortens the distance. It's already pretty short. But if you pre-spin the rotor up here, we're going to get a nice little run, somewhere in the middle of this runway here. And then we're going to come to a stop. Okay, we're just about ready to start our takeoff procedure. We're going to come to a stop. Putting my brake on. Rotor brake off. That's this rotor brake level there. Oh, it looks like... Do I already have that on? Because, yeah, it looks like it's spinning up by itself. Okay. Yeah, I must have had that on already. Hold on. I want to turn it... Okay, let's see. I should be able to turn the rotor brake off and have it not go anywhere. Okay. Then I can activate the pre-spin function there. And now it's going to spin up. It takes a while, but what you want to do is wait till it gets to about 150. It will get there. Once it gets there, then we can actually turn off the that rotor pre-spin feature because the wind going under. Maybe I need to do a couple of these. There we go. More. There we go. Now it's going to spin up to like 150. There it goes. And now we can release the brake and go full power forward. One. What happened to my throttle? Something bad happened to my throttle. There we go. Alright, now we're moving forward. Okay. And we're getting speed under the rotors, and it's all it takes to get off the ground. We don't need this anymore, I believe. Alright, a little less power. What is going on? I'm having some trouble with my... This thing is not smooth. Alright, we want to head north, which is this direction here. Is that moving correctly? I'm having some engine difficulties here. Controlling my throttle. I'm not exactly sure. I know. First of all, it's a gyrocopter. Alright, check out this cool airport. If you notice, that I'm trying to control the engine throttle using my throttle, and it should be moving smoothly at all times. And it's kind of stuck, and I'm not exactly sure what that's about. Okay, we need to turn off start power there, and we need to turn this to from transponder to on. Alright, we're heading north. Which way is north? This way. We're going to check out the falls. Oh wait, it wanted us to talk. I think it's trying to talk to us. North departure.
Victoria Falls Tower.
And Victoria Falls is up this direction here. It's a little bit of a ways, but we're going to try to go there. Okay. I'm also wondering if my helicopter is responding correctly because it's wanting to turn in some weird ways. It may just be that we're too low. We're getting a lot of turbulence here. Okay, at least the power is proper. It's properly moving. What's my speed? 290. But it's doing some weird stuff. I've usually trying to see if there's some kind of trim control that needs to be messed with. What's my rotor speed? It just seems very, it just seems a couple issues. One is it's slipping. Is that thing messed up? No. And not moving smoothly. You know what I mean? I'm side slipping. You can kind of tell from that thing there. Maybe not actually. Doesn't look too bad. All right, we're heading there. Let's see, what's our speed? About 60 knots. It should be fine. I'm just getting used to it. There may be something a little wrong with it though, because I don't know. I feel like it's slipping to the right, like I'm holding the right rudder, like that, but I'm not. That's the left rudder. You can see the right and the left rudder do affect that rear thing. Wait, there's supposed to be some wildlife to see around here too. We could have started from the closer airport, but I figured it'd be nice to have a little 10-minute flight to wherever we're going. That's the main airport back there, which you barely see. Like it's an international airport. But Victoria Falls itself is a town right near the falls, and that's up ahead. We'll check out the town itself. Oh, great. We can see power lines here. That's dangerous. All right, what's our speed? 70. Now it's starting to get a little more. It still wants to kind of move to the right. Oh, you can see the mist from the falls from the distance. I want to check. So we did change the time of day. It's actually night there in the real world. But I want to make sure I have live weather turned on. And you can see live weather is turned on. It's just not the live time of day. Because it's, nighttime would be better. But yeah, it's apparently the falls are just, it's where a river that's kind of at this level falls into a big canyon that's very low compared to the rest of the terrain. But the city is to the west. It's just to the left there. So we'll start to the left. We'll check out the city, and then we'll check out the falls. It's starting to get a little more consistent. But yeah, we're in the middle of South Central Africa. There's basically an intersection in the central area of Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, and a little bit of Namibia. But they all kind of converge around here. But technically, we are in Zimbabwe. I believe the falls are in Zimbabwe, but they're on the border of Zambia. And maybe they're in one of the. Maybe they're technically in both. Because yeah, as a major river, it forms a border between two large African countries. But yeah, in the actual game, if you haven't paid for this extra content, it's not going to look like this. I just bought it. This is the first time we're looking at it in game, and you can already tell there's something interesting going on there because there's apparently it throws up a lot of mist. But the other thing is apparently from this we saw that from the description when I was downloading this on flightsim.to that. It has some really nice nighttime effects too. On like there's a bridge, there's a Victoria Falls bridge, and it gets lit up at night. Blah blah blah. So it's kind of little tiny primitive communities here. Did I hear your last transmission? Probably not. Oh, frequency change. Yeah. What's the frequency, Kenneth? I don't know. We're almost there, basically. It's like a 5-minute ride, and we don't have to go back there to land or anything like that. So we are flying. It's starting to definitely stable now. What's our speed there? 416. It's a little high. We're reducing thrust a little bit. Excuse me 1 second, please. Hello. Make sure we got 100 here. It's fine. Moving on. Yeah, I had a slight delivery, but we're moving on. Oh, what's this here? Moving on to the Livingston Falls. It's getting closer. I'm excited. All right, there's our beautiful blue gyro. Yes, my package hath arrived with supplies for later of various kinds. It's okay, and we got a very African style terrain here. The bush, those kind of trees. I mean, there's probably more variety of trees than we're seeing here. Well, you can see let's see, there's a tower there. This is a pretty major road, starting to get some traffic. Because the town of Victoria Falls is also one of the bigger towns in the area. It's really in the middle of nowhere. But I suspect one of the reasons why 4 countries, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Namibia, all kind of converge in this area It's an area of a great natural beauty. There's all sorts of parks and sanctuaries, wildlife sanctuaries in the area. But yeah, this place is kind of a, it's a people come from all over the world, so it's a show place of Central Africa. And there's Victoria Falls, but you see the falls. I think that's the city there. We're just gonna kind of follow the road here. The falls are that way, but we'll have plenty of time to fly around them and nice and low. The gyro hopefully will show off how flexible it is and aerobatic. It is quite aerobatic when in the correct way. And that you can't really hover like a helicopter, but you can go quite a bit slower than a plane normally would be able to. But we're already getting kind of cool details, like all the different power transmission and the roads. As I say, we're almost at the city of Victoria Falls, and Victoria Falls itself is over there. It'll be quite dramatic once we actually get there, I hope. And there's a bunch of little tiny dirt fields here, which I checked out, but I figure we'll start at the main airport and just kind of hang out for a bit. Of course, the Magni Gyro, I always like to talk about it again. It's an unpowered rotor. You can see how it dishes up, but it's holding up the plane. But what's powering it is wind going through the rotors, and because basically it's and then you can control left and right using those rods there. And then there's a rear control in the back. But other than that, the only engine thing pushing, the only thing that's powered is that rear thing. So you got to keep moving forward in order to be able to do anything. So we still got the rest there. Okay. Still working there, and we're already starting to see kind of a suburban, rural community pop up here. I'm hoping there'll be some nice detail once we get to the actual city. This is the city of Victoria Falls. It's not, it's not massive. But it's mainly here to support the people coming and being tourists, I guess. Well, it's probably people, certainly people living right. As I say, it's one of the bigger cities in the area, within like 100 miles. Because this is Central Africa. But it looks pretty nice. Yeah, see, we're seeing some palm trees as well as those desert scrub style trees there. But it goes on for a while. We're not going to see super tall buildings or anything. But certainly lots of people live here. I guess there's like 30 or 40,000 people. Maybe not quite that many. All right, let's check out the falls. Falls are up this way. They're up here. So you can see there's a gorge there to the right, and to the left you see the height of the actual river before it hits the falls, where it starts going down. But yeah, by I don't know the statistics, but apparently by volume, it's either the biggest waterfall or one of the biggest waterfalls. It's by amount of water typically flying over it. But this is gonna be great. And we're gonna check out the gorge as well as we can, but you can see it's very involved. It's gonna be tricky. But basically, you're gonna fly to the airport. You can stay in a little motel or hotel around here, and then they'll take you out to visit the falls. But we're getting to do it for free. Actually, it's not free. I paid $14 for the privilege. We're gonna do this a bunch in bunch of different planes, because I don't really know the terrain. Because I don't know where the bridge is, but I suspect there's multiple overlooks. It looks like this is kind of like a gate to a parking area and overlook area here. And we're flying down in there. You don't think we're not going to fly down into the gorge? Oh, you're so wrong. So there's some water there. This moving water effect is not normally in the game. That's all programmed in. So I mean, it's good, considering it's all new. They did a pretty decent job. We're a little too close to really appreciate, to really get the feeling that it's realistic, but it's a great attempt, and I really like it. So you'd be on this side, parked over there, and you'd look towards here to see the falls. You can see how they just go on and on and on and on and on. It's not like one fall. It's just this huge wall. It's this giant wall. And this wall is perfectly level. It has to be. Because otherwise it would just... all the water would go down where it's not level. It's pretty impressive from a you know, that it's a natural formation, but it's really a flat wall that it goes over. I want to find the bridge. I think it's down here. I think it's down over here. Because I know there's a cool bridge. Yeah, there's a couple of bridges. Alright, so okay, there's that area there. And then there's this area here. This is the kind of the gorge that goes down here. Oh, this is wild. We're going in here. We're going in hot under this bridge here. Whee! Oh man, check this out. That's a pretty narrow canyon here. I would not try this at home. Normally. But we're doing it. Alright, let's get even lower. Yeah, I think that's what Hobigal was talking about. It's like the Tanarg is not quite flexible enough to do this. Oh dear. I did not realize the canyon was going to end like that. Are we going to be able to do this? We got full power going. Not quite. We smashed. Hey, I'm learning this terrain, alright? Alright, we're nearby. Where is it? It's over here. Alright, let's try that. Oh, God, that canyon is steep. But yeah, it's a little box. Where does the water go out? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on here. Because we hit the wall right here, but you can see how it basically ends. Okay, so the water makes a sharp turn. And then comes this way? I don't really get what's going on at the end of this canyon here. Like, does the water just stop there? Does it go backwards? We'll figure it out someday. Yeah, but all this terrain just looks fantastic. Alright, so that's the bridge we went under. Yeah, so it makes a sharp turn. And there's like a lake up here. It's pretty cool. So it comes down under there. It makes a sharp left turn. Oh, and then there's this other falls over there. Ah, this is so cool. It looks so great. I mean, especially, you know, none of this stuff is visible in the actual game unless you purchase this whole content. Okay, so it comes down there. It kind of makes this Z, this big Z. It makes a sharp turn over here. And this must be the exit where it leaves, where all that water coming over the falls leaves the area, I'm thinking. Yeah, that is some crazy. It did crash. I did crash. Thank you for, you know, you can't use the Ken crash emote in YouTube, unfortunately. That's the only downside of YouTube. But I was appreciating all these formations, how rocky this is. Looks like there's more power lines we'd have to worry about in the real world right here. We'd be dead because we just ran into the power line. But that's fine. But I want to. Oh, look, there's some really, really cool looking formations here. And yeah, it's a really long, really windy canyon. I mean, talk about canyon carving. I mean, we'd have to make like an 180-degree turn here. It looks like there's some terrain issues here. Yeah, I don't even know if this plane is maneuverable enough to really carve this canyon. And it is one of the more maneuverable ones. All right, we're gonna do it the whole thing the other direction too. We're gonna fly back up to the falls. So this is downstream. I'm thinking. I assume. The other thing we're looking for is wildlife, and I don't know where it would be. I would think kind of on the side of these, maybe around here. What's this up here? I want to see if this is a wildlife down here. This little thing up ahead. It may not be a wildlife. Maybe it's a tent or something. You know, it's something moving around. Oh, it's a boat. It's, what the heck? It's an inflatable craft. It's an inflatable riverboat. That is also must be part of this terrain, because I've never seen something like that in the game, moving on its own, like on a path like that. So that must be part of this. Okay, well, let's see if we can make this right turn and not die here. Make a real sharp turn here. Yeah, anything with moving water like that was added as part of this package of. It's called Victoria Falls. We got it on FlightSim.to. on Hobie Gal's recommendation. All right, let's turn around and go back up because we went a ways. But I'm already impressed how much of the canyon they've detailed. But it's not a real, it's not like a big city thing. Okay, we're gonna make some power here. Wait. Why is my trim messed up here? Let's try to 0 trim and see how it works. All right, we're gonna get some altitude here. There's more rapids down there. This whole canyon is amazing, but we're getting some altitude. We're gonna turn around. Well, realer than the actual game does. But what really makes it real is kind of these really wild rock formations down here. Actually, I want to check down here and see if there's anything else or down here because it looks like there's another boat. There's supposed to be like wildlife, but I haven't figured out exactly where it's supposed to be. It's like there's a boat going over the falls there, right below us, an inflatable boat. And there's a couple more. There's quite a few. So I think that river rapid trips in Victoria Falls is another thing you do. Like it's another it's part of the experience as you see the falls, and then you do a whitewater trip down this area here. All right, I want to go back up. This is really amazing, by the way. I'm just in terms of how difficult it is to make something like this look realistic. See, from here, if you're not in the gorge itself, it really doesn't look like much if you're high up. It's then you get in it. But I want to go back up because you can see up ahead there. That's Victoria Falls. But I want to see it again. But we're going to go up through the gorge here. Again, I'm looking to see if I can see any like rhinoceroses or hippopotamuses or just gazelles. I don't know. They are going so fast. No, slower. We need about -4 on the trim. What's our speed? Again, I don't want to go much faster than 500 RPM on the rotor. That's that LCD display out in the middle there. 500 RPM, less than 4, between 4 and 500. I say between 350 and 500 RPM is where you want to have those. And since you don't directly control them, they're controlled kind of by how fast you're going through the wind. You kind of have to monitor that. All right, so here's where that big bend was. There's quite a fall here. I don't know if little boats can go over this one here, but we're gonna make a sharp left turn here. But we saw there was an inflatable boat going up and down here. There it is again. So it's going up. This goes bound, turns around, comes over. That's fine. It's just really a great detail. But I'm looking for wildlife, and I would think it'd definitely be a riverside. But it also may be near the kind of the top of the falls or something back there. But wow, this is really crazy stuff. We're going to try this in a couple of different airplanes. In the same way that I enjoy going through the barn. We already took this plane through the barn. But, being able to do these, run these crevasses here, I mean, in something like like one of the jet fighters or something like that. I mean, they are very, oh yeah, we're not going to make this turn here. Never say never. I'm pretty good at flying this thing. I'm getting better. Again, it's a real plane and it really does kind of handle like this. You can do some really wild maneuvers if you have enough altitude, and like spinning in, letting the rotors. Okay, again, this dangerous area here is because there's power wires that are going across this gorge right here. So you either got to go too low to go under them or go over them. We'll go low. And anyway, in this game, it's not going to show the power lines. It's not danger. Oh, wait, great rock formations. Got some issues here. But pretty soon, yeah, we'll be at the falls. I'm going to try to do this turn where we make a sharp left turn, go down a ways, and then make a 180-degree right turn. So we will need a little bit of altitude. And then we'll get to the falls. We could kind of just go over that thing and head right to the falls. So there's little tiny falls here, right over here. I'm wondering whether there's like there's like a reservoir, and they have like power generations. So what I mean by there's practically a 180-degree turn here for the river. That's why I'm staying high up. But then it goes straight for a while because this is real narrow down here. And then it makes a 180-degree right turn. It's very unusual. I've never seen anything quite like it. And again, as you know, if I hit these walls, it does cause a crash. Actually, we're gonna go over this wall here like this because of the steepness of this little thing here. Which you've already done once, but if I hit him again, you know, it says, "Oh, you crashed," and he starts you again at 5,000 feet. But we don't like to do that. My intention is to not hit the wall. And that is a tall bridge. So I guess this is the only bridge. This is the bridge that's lit up all purple at night. But it is a very high up bridge. And it's got guy wires. I want to stay nice and low. See? And then, boom, this is Victoria Falls. And it kind of ends to the right there, but it extends way off to the left here. I'm trying to see, are some of these little tiny dots... Animals are not going to look very big at this scale. They're going to look like little dots. So I might try to investigate whether, for example, like if we go here, yeah, look here. You can barely tell, but if we all jump out of the plane using our magical parachutes here. Okay, those are rocks. All right, I'm looking for animals. I'm just saying, they could have been animals. Maybe they're at the top somewhere. We'll have to look around. I don't necessarily, look how tiny we are. You know, if I see something that looks like it might be animals, I'm gonna stop. Because it says specifically there is wildlife to find. I don't know, you know, but it doesn't specifically say where it is. All right, we got to head up here. I'm going to check the kind of the reservoir side, which is to the north of us. Oh, I really like it. Yeah, you know, we've been having a good time here. As I just mentioned, thanks for dropping by. I'm now starting to see if I can find where the animal populations might be. I'm just kind of looking around, like anywhere where I think animals might be hanging out. I'm thinking maybe they're to the north, in the reservoir area, like here. You know, or the river side. That's the river. There's the Victoria Falls. Like on down here somewhere. Like any of these guys' animals, right? Hold on. Doesn't look like that. I think I have... The thing I have to check is, do I have all my fauna turned on to the max? Fauna controls whether you're going to see wildlife or not. Let me just double check that while I'm thinking about it. It's a settings. You can go settings. General. Scroll. Global running. I have to go to advanced settings. Fauna. Well, I'm going to set it... It's set to high. I'm going to set it to ultra. It shouldn't be found near one of the airports to the west. Okay. I just turned fauna from high to ultra. That might affect it. I want to see down here. I think there's like there's a lodge here. I want to check this out. Why is my engine so high? It's my rotor at 45. That's fine. Oh, what's down here? These are just rocks. It's really, because they're just going to be little dots from the air, you know? Did I see the bungee jumper or the cable car? No, but I did see like a bunch of inflatable boats going up and down the river. Let me see if I can find this resort looks pretty good. I mean, this is probably where you want to stay, and then you got a suite of rooms, all those there that have falls view. All right, let's see if we can find some of this other stuff. We'll try going to the west. We're on the east side. We'll try going to the west side of the falls and see if we can see some wildlife then. Just behind you where the bridge is. So there's only one big bridge. Yeah, let me see if we can... We're going to stop at the bridge and do some inspections. We're going to inspect the bridge. We'll just check it out. I saw that there was a bunch of cables kind of hanging under the bridge, because we went under the bridge several times. But I didn't see the bungee jumper himself. But we're gonna stop just so we can get an inspection here. Check out the bridge. This time we're gonna go over the bridge. All right, everyone use your magical parachutes. So I believe what you're talking about is that he's him? I don't know. These guys. It's at the other end of the model. Oh, right. Here's the bungee jump station. 111 meters of Big Africa Air. Thank you. There he is. He seems to be getting ready. Is he going to jump? Oh, he is. And there he goes. This is awesome. And he's jumping. Wow. This is a really, really impressive simulation. It's not perfect, but you can see they're trying. There it gets taught there. And he's going to come flying back up most of the way. And it's not perfect, but that is, thank you, yeah. There's an actual bungee jumping going on there. And we could have, every few minutes, okay. It looks like he's getting ready to go again. Maybe even quicker than that. I guess you'll see him put his arms out straight right before he jumps. Right? This is pretty wild. There's always something fun on these things. There he goes. Whee! That's crazy. You don't want to go too far. It's not a perfect simulation of a cable, of a flexible cable, obviously, but that's fine. It's very good, a very good job. All right, let's see if we can find what is it? The other thing we're looking for? The cable car. The cable car is at the kind of the west end of the falls. This is kind of where the whole touristy area is here, or one of the touristy areas, where kind of the overlooks. But I want to see if there's a cable car. But in any case, I want to head to the west. West is that direction. See if we can see some aminals, some flora, some fauna. Fauna, technically. I would really think that the animals would be around here, because they like to be near the water. But everything I think is going to be a group of animals ends up being rocks, right? Let's just look from here. We're going to stay nice and low. If I follow the river, I'll see it on my left. Okay, so the river's going up that way. So, yeah, let's head up, follow the river, but stay on the left bank here. And see if we can see anything moving down here. Is that a giraffe there? It is. Found one. It's right here. Giraffe. Alright, everyone get out of here. Put your magical parachutes on so we can look at the giraffe. There it is. Magical parachute time. Usually there'd be a bunch of them, I would think. Good job. That looks like the way a giraffe moves, too. Look at that. I mean, that looks like a very naturalistic giraffe. There must be a bunch more somewhere. And they're scared of the sound. You can see the ears moving. When they get away from the sound, they'll kind of stop. But that loud sound of the plane kind of spooks them. There must be some more around here somewhere. But we saw a giraffe, okay? Don't say I never showed you a giraffe. We didn't see wildlife. We saw wildlife. All right, I think up this direction. Yeah, so at least we saw one giraffe. But the cool thing is that they run around, and if you're low enough, they kind of scatter as you approach, which is really cool. Of course, all wildlife does that in the game. That happens at the ranch when I fly around over the horses. There's like little things here. There's like a little storage area there. Yes, the Omaha Zoo. Yeah, giraffes. Yeah, giraffes don't do well in cold weather, so they do have to be kept kind of warm. Because of the circulation system. But the point is, yeah, you can see them. Yeah, they're really cool. They're really amazing creatures up close. For sure. Imagine seeing them wild running around. So, well, we saw a giraffe. Yeah, they got to be tall to eat those leaves at the top of the trees, the good tasting ones, the ones that are getting lots of sun. You know. So we're back. This is the town of Victoria Falls, and it's pretty. It's not necessarily that nice, but yeah, you can see there's the falls over there, and then there's the canyon over here. I'm trying to see if there's other wild areas where you might find wildlife. Maybe over here. This looks like a resort. It's got water features, pools. It's like everybody's kind of on the water there. some kind of really cool looking modern resort, maybe. You know, obviously it's a very touristy area, right? So this is where the couple places where you see the river makes this incredibly sharp turn. This canyon is unbelievably steep. Pretty amazing. One of the little airports to the left. Yeah, I bet they have I bet they're on the grounds of that little airport. That's it. Actually, let's find that one. Let's check it out because we're going to land anyway. Over here, one of those little airports there, that way. There's a couple of them. There's really nothing that way. Let's check over here. Might as well. That gives us another chance to kind of go over the falls and see the you know, the tourist overlook area here. Again, there's a tourist overlook area here, and then there's a resort over on that side. But I want to head on the other side here and check out these are little it's called a river airstrip and a camp airport. But it's great. You can see the mist, the water in the air kind of gives you that great misty effect. It'd be really nice if Niagara Falls looked like this in the game too, but it doesn't. It looks okay, but not like this. Oops, why am I not going anywhere? Give me some power, please. My engine working? Sort of. Oh. Anyway, again, we're going to stay nice and low and see if we can see any wild... Yeah, I'm really getting some turbulence right around here, too. Oh, really? Yeah, I probably have to turn up the sound. We're gonna fly around here a bunch. So next time you're flying with us, you have this content. Oh, I have this content. There's a bunch of little boats in the river, like little inflatable boats. And some of them are kind of on tracks where they're moving around. Some of them I think are just sitting there. This is a different one, though. I think this is like a river boat, not an inflatable boat. That one right there. Yeah, that's like a river tourist boat there. But if you want to do whitewater rafting, it's a different kind of boat. You're going to be downstream. It's really interesting. There's more stuff to do here, I think, than you think. A bit to the left. Don't see anything on the ground. That way, or like kind of. See, I think I see some things moving there. Yeah, I do. We're kind of heading there. This way here. What's here? I think these are elephants. Oh, they are. Let's scare the elephants. Who wants to chase some elephants? Hey, thanks for the follow. Woo! These elephants are going to be cool. They're pissed off. We don't care. Everyone get out of here. Get out of the plane. Put your magical parachutes on. We're going to go talk to the elephants. Hello, Mr. Elephant. How are you doing today? These are very realistic animals. They are very, not just the way they look, but the way they move. Totally, yeah. And then we got a whole herd here. We got him going, Wah! You should be able to hear him going, Wah! This is great. All right, so don't say I never told you, I never took you to see the elephants and the giraffe. It's probably that's all we're going to see for today. But that's more than enough. All right, there's the elephants. At least they're not afraid of us. They don't scatter. All right, we're going to check out first I just want to see what this is over here. Now, landing a gyro is kind of a vibe. Let me just put it that way. You can land in a few hundred feet of anything flat if you know what you're doing. If you don't, it's not going to be so good. I just need the practice of landing. This is basically a little dirt field, and I think there's another one further on. Again, the falls you can't even see them, but you can see the mist in the distance. They're definitely one of those things that you can't really see much of. So we got Baobab Camp Airport. There's a little kind of like an ecotourism resort right there. There's a bunch of them, around. You could fly in on a little airplane and just stay right at that little touristy camp right there, and then short drive to the falls. Not a walk, but I just want to see. This is all really cool. Hey, I paid money for this, so it's all really cool. To check it out for the first time. Yes, I did fly down the canyon. Yeah, I had to cheat the turns. Once I started to realize how sharp those turns were, I did crash the first time. You'll see. The first time I flew to the end of that canyon, and I wasn't sure whether it was a left or right, so I'm just like, well, let's just go straight up. Didn't get in that. We were way too low. So now I respect that canyon a little bit more. But it's amazing. It's such a Z. I mean, makes a sharp turn, almost 100 degrees. goes for a while, makes another sharp turn at like 200 feet of canyon. It's very, very, very rugged. I mean, I've never seen anything like it, and there isn't anything like it. It's really a unique place in the entire world. All right, we're gonna land on this little dirt one here. Why not? We're an hour. We're an hour in. I didn't even get a chance. I had such a good time. I didn't even get a chance to do what I wanted to do, which was visit my ranch to make sure it has not been taken over by bandits. But maybe it's been taken over by bandits. We'll check tomorrow and see if the ranch has been taken over by bandits. All right. So we're going to come here. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm making a lineup. We're going to come out here. We're going to stay nice and low. We're going to slow down a little bit here. We're going to make a real sharp turn to get on to the left to get to this river airport. Man, we're going to make that sharp turn right now. Here's our little runway here. Try not to hit the power lines. Hopefully we're not going too fast. We're going kind of fast. Whoops. Going a little fast. That's fine. We went off the runway a little bit. Takes a little practice to get a really short landing. Need a little power. I want to get back to that runway. We went downhill. That's fine. Yeah, I hope my ranch does have a little security. I'm concerned that when I'm not there, everyone's just partying and drinking beer and having pizza and leaving all the crap around the picnic tables. Because I have a feeling most of the people who work at my ranch are a bunch of alcoholics. That's fine. So I'm just checking out this little kind of area here. Sometimes there's some cool, like, little... We can put our rotor brake on here, by the way. There we go. Yeah. Sometimes, there's some cool, like, near these little bush airports. There's, like, little details. Like they have in, that place in the south, anyway, that bush, anyway, where they have, like, people hanging out. I just want to check out what's down here. But we'll fly. Again, there's a bunch more stuff to explore here. We got a basic idea of what the falls are like, and we haven't seen the cable. We saw the bungee jumper, and that was really amazing. And then there's this little kind of area here. We could park our little Magni Gyro under. We can't really do that, but that's fine. Gorgeous little plane. I love it. All right, how do we stow this guy? We're going to turn off the fuel and ignitions and pumps here. We're going to turn off our transponder. We're going to turn off our radio. Doesn't matter. We'll turn off our battery master. And here we are. Beautiful. All right, we're going to take a little screenshot of my M24 Magni Orion Gyro. Such a sweet little fun thing to fly around into. I'm sure in the real world, it's a little trickier, but it's still really fun. All right. Africa, we visited you today. And tomorrow, who knows where we'll go. We might come back. Well, as I say, we got to go back to... I have to visit the ranch tomorrow. Again, I do want to make sure that it has not been overrun by banditos. Boy. Okay, right, next thing, what's on the message? We're like an hour in. We got plenty of time to stream, but I do like to get to my next little thing I like to do, which is what's called the big brain games. So I'm going to get out of Microsoft Flight Simulator here. I do these on a daily basis just to kind of keep the brain limber, make sure nothing has gone wrong overnight. Let's see, I'm going to get into the just chatting category because I'm not technically not flying around anywhere. And let me bring this up here. Alrighty, so the big brain games consists of me playing the Quirtle, which is like that Wordle, New York Times Wordle, except you saw 4 or 5 letter words at the same time. I always use my same starting words every single time. I'm trying to get this not done, reasonably fast, you know. What is this one here? That's an unusual one. All right, we'll figure that one in a second. I'm like, bling. All right, let's do. I'm gonna guess in the upper right, flung. I mean, if it's not flung, it'll give us the F and the G. It did. Okay. Ah, and ends in Y. Oh, we knew that already. Now we know where the I. There's an I. We knew that. Oh, sorry. Do we know anything else? All right, upper left. Let's see. Upper left, interesting, has got to be Rhino, interestingly. Because, yeah, I want to see some. Sorry, you know, if you're still in the shot, in the game. I definitely want to see some of your Miata club picks, 15 or 16 Miatas. I mean, anytime you have a certain number of the same car. All right, what do we have here? This over here, lower left, excuse, lower right. It could be drove. I'm just going to guess drove. It was drove. And then we still have this hard one here. Oh, it's Juicy. Guicy. It's not really that hard once you kind of figure it out. Kind of learn. All right. Second game is called The Revealed. We've been doing this for a couple months now. It's not timed or anything. It's we have to find out. We have to answer the following arts and culture item. Figure out what it is. It's a 5-letter word, a 6-letter word. We get this heavily redacted document. And then we can reveal certain things. So the trick is to figure out what the minimum number of things to reveal that will give us enough clues to figure out what this arts and culture item is. Okay. So I always do, I'm going to read this thing. It's annoying, but I'm going to do it. What we're looking for, blank, is a blank blank similar in blank to blank blank, and blank on a blank blank divided into two blank blank by a blank fixed across its blank at the blank. The blank is to blank the blank so that it goes blank to the blank and blank. Oh boy, this is a hard one. Blank on the blank blank of the something in such a blank that the blank cannot blank it or blank it correctly. The blank 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 is blank back and forth blank. The blank by small blank blank held by the blank. Boy, this is... all right, so what are we going to need? Hopefully this is what will give us something. Yeah, unfortunately. I want to see what this is. That's what I thought it was going to be. Because objective and game are compatible. Let's start thinking about what this could be. It's a game similar in something to blank blank. And blank on a blank blank divided into two blank by a blank fixed across its blank at the blank. All right, I'm going to make a guess based on nothing in particular, except that it fits, and it was correct. Yeah, so I kind of thought when I said fixed across its blank at the middle, I was already starting to think in terms of a game with a net. So it could have been tennis, some kind of tennis, but it's not tennis because that's two words. And we did pretty well. 2 hints, 2 reveals. Other players required on average 5.4 reveals and 2 hints. 80% solved it eventually, but we solved it much faster than most people solved it because we're good at this game. All right, let's do the tightrope trivia. It's starting to get to be the hard one. This is the second to the hardest. Tomorrow's the hardest one. It's a 9-question, multiple choice, timed trivia quiz, and I consider myself a trivia master. Let's dive in. That's Michael Myers. Yeah, I almost said Freddy Krueger, but I actually remember reading about this recently. Not that like a year or two ago. That's Microsoft. Okay, familiar with all that stuff. Countries. It was Spanish Civil War. I need more ice for my Diet Coke. Hopefully. I was nervous about going to the advanced class at first, but found it very edifying. I'm going to go with. Vocabulary is not going to be hard for me, but you know, or the science ones, but the pop culture ones with a sprinkler stricture on top. Jeez. 68. That was a process of elimination, but that took a long time. Remember, these are timed. You know, I'm going to get my time bonus. Newest internationally recognized country. It was South Sudan. Oh, I knew it was one of those two. Oof. I should have guessed my... Somehow I was able to pull that one out. Back of the hand. Boy, that was a hard one. Change what? Their sex. Okay, well, we crossed it. I'm happy to say we crossed it. We only got 7 right out of 9. That's a loss. That's a loss. But there's always tomorrow. And we got a decent score. You know, as I say, you can get up to 2 wrong and still cross. But, ooh, 1770. And it's a loss. Hopefully we'll do better tomorrow. But that's the nature of trivia. You know, sometimes you get them and sometimes you don't. All right, the final 2 brain games are these 2 octorals. Noisy, plate, crumb. They're like the Quirtles, except instead of 4 puzzles, 5-letter word puzzles, you're solving 8 at the same time with the same set of starting words or words. We're going to do this one and then the rescue because it's super hard. This one here, we have all of these. What is this? All the 5 letters. So what is it? It's inlay, lower right there. And let's see, what do we got here? Starts with a P, ends with an E, and there's an O and an N. It could be phone. That's good because it gave us the H. The H is down here. So we have the N is there. This could be hence. Right? Then we've got, let's see, we got 5 more to go. Let's see which here. This one could be riser. Okay, so let's just grab that. What else do we got here? This one is R-I. This could be grill or frill on the upper left here. Oh, the upper right here. We got to know what this one is here. It's not risen. It's S-I something. Siren, right? Siren, okay. Duh. All right, let's go moving along. Okay, we have this one still, which could still be frill or grill or drill. Oosh, that's going to be a hard one. Let's see what we got here. That's also going to be hard. M, A, and E, and O. A lot of vowels there. Is that omega? O-M. Yeah, it is. Omega. Very good. And let's see. What else do we got here? Lower left. Gotta have something here. Okay, there's an E. There's an R. The A is over here. Could it be avert? A-V-E-R-T. All right, moving along. I'm pretty good at this game, by the way. It's experience, like doing this once a day for like a year. All right, we've got 3 guesses left to get this last one. It still could be drill or frill. It can't be grill. Let's try drill. It was drill. All right, but we got one more game to do. That's the rescue. This is the hard one. Because I don't get to use my powerful 3 starting words, it picks 4 random words for you. That's the nature of the game. In this case, there's no U. They got all the other vowels and no Y. That's going to be iffy. Let's see. There's an A. It could be faint. Faint, right? It could have been taint and some other thing. No, it could have been taint. Could have been paint. But we got lucky there. You can type in Victoria Falls. I actually literally looked at the Google Maps to find out where it is. But I did that before. I had a feeling I wasn't gonna figure it. All right, this could be FE_ON, right? So could it be felon? Yeah, it could be felon. FELON. I'm gonna guess felon because that fits, and we need that L. Good job here. Okay, very good. That we're moving along here. So now we have, this could be SLI something, but it could be slick. And if it isn't, it'll at least give us the C and the K. And it was. We're doing well here. We're doing well. Let's see. This one here has a D in it. It's either there or there. It's ARD something. But I don't think it's ARDA if the D is there. Right? Because there's, or RD. Oh, right. It could be Y. Ooh, so it could be Hardy. HARDY. Lower right here. I'm good at this game. All right. And now we have the Y, which is not used anywhere else. That's fine. Okay. Now we have FR, something IT. Right? That's. And we have U available. Has to be fruit. Upper right. Perfect. And that gives us the U, which is here. Okay, which we didn't have before. There's an E and a U. I'm going to come back to that one because we have 3. This one here is more interesting. It's got a DE. You know where the D is? There's an RE and an O. It's not rodeo, though, because there's no O at the end. It could be otter, ODDER. It might be otter. All right, let's move along. We got 2 left. Should see here. Okay, ends in RD. And it could be OARD, so it could be board, BOARD, right? The O can fit there. The A can fit there, and the B is available. Well, we're kicking ass because we have 2 guesses left. This is going to be the hard one. But we do have 2 guesses to hopefully win this rescue today. Again, I only get about half of these. Okay, we have the fact that there's a U, so it could be queen. I mean, it might not be queen, but that would fit. It was queen. All right, so we easily finished today's rescue. Again, I get about 60% of them, but I always feel good because that's the hardest variation of that particular game. But we easily murdered it today. All right, we did generally pretty well in the big brain games. I would say the tightrope trivia was, I mean, considering it's one of the harder ones, it wasn't so good. But, you know, there's always tomorrow and the day after. I'm switching over to the music category. Come on, let's do it. Music category. You can do it for me. Because the second half of the show is me whipping out my piano. It's going to take me a few minutes to bring everything over, power everything up, get all the plugs plugged in, get the microphone switched over, get the cameras. That's actually quite a bit of stuff. But I've got it pretty much down now after doing it like 250 times. Because the other 250 times I play my guitar, it's a different thing. We have over 500 of these shows. So we're going to have the mid-roll, and I'm going to switch over to the, we'll be playing my Ken's patented Ken's Piano Lounge. Stick around. It'll be kind of mellow and fun. I mean, it'll be, it is what it is. All right, let me set my things up here. Still setting things up a little bit here. The mic going. Yeah, right, sure. Camera going. Right here. There we go. Right around here. So you get the eagle's eye view. Actually, I prefer things a little closer to my eye, in fact, of what is going on the keyboard there. Eagle eye view. All right. Here we are back at Ken's Piano Lounge for the millionth and 10th time. Hey, what is Ken's Piano Lounge, you may ask? Is it a place? Sort of. Because you could consider it to be my living room, but it's really where you are as Ken's Piano Lounge, because I'm invading your space with my piano. And when I'm bringing my list of lounge act song list, I actually need this. I've memorized the songs, but not which songs I've memorized. Think about it. It's literally possible. For example, so it'll say something like "Say a Little Prayer," Natalie Cole version. I'm like, oh heck yeah, I can play that. Hold on a second here. Piano to the right here. There we go. Right way. Gotta get the perfect setup here because I have to take it down and put it up every time, so it moves around. I have to get the camera. Everything's a little bit adjusted. And I can tell I'm cold. It's been about like 6 days since I played my song list here. But that's why we're practicing or playing it this time. This is called Flash Dance. What a feeling. right, I'm gonna sing a song. It's called Peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Peaches come from a can, they were put there by a man in a factory downtown. If I had my little way, well, I'd eat peaches every day. Sun-soaking bulges in the shade. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, gonna eat me a lot of peaches. Took a nap where the roots all twist. I squished a rotten peach in my fist, and I dreamed about you, woman. I poked my finger down inside to make a little room for an ant to hide. Well, nature's candy in my hand, or can, or pie. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Peaches. So it's a story, a song about a boy and his love for a particular kind of fruit, I guess. Anyway, this song is called Breaking Us in Two. It's by Joe Jackson. It goes like this. That's little Joe Jackson there. Next song is called Girl from Ipanema. Classic kind of lounger song. great song. Little Todd Rundgren here. It's Just One Victory. Seen that song, but it's a got a great set of lyrics too. Todd Rundgren song, Too Far Gone. Oh, what a song! Who wants Jeremy to see a Warren Zevon song? I didn't think so. It's called Johnny Strikes Up the Band. Dry your eyes, my little friends. Let me take you by the hand. Ready, getting ready. Rock steady when Johnny strikes up the band. They'll be rocking in the projects, walking down along the strand. Ready, getting ready. Rock steady when Johnny strikes up the band. When Johnny strikes up the band. When Johnny strikes up the Johnny strikes up the wind. Johnny strikes up the band. friends. Jubilation fills the land. Ready, getting ready. Rock steady. Johnny strikes up the band. When Johnny strikes up the band. When Johnny strikes up the. When Johnny strikes up the. When Johnny strikes up the band. When Johnny strikes up the band. When Johnny strikes up the band. When Johnny strikes up the. When Johnny strikes up the. When Johnny strikes up the band. A little warm. Gee, okay, we're gonna do the song. All 26 miles of that canyon. Yeah, we might want to do that. We didn't. Yeah, I went probably like halfway down the canyon. Maybe 10 miles. It's a long way down there. Excuse me. But the gyro is the way to go. Excuse me. All right. What was that? It was just the two of us. Let's do another song of some kind. Which one do I want to do though? Let's do this song. Let's steal it in. Wow. Some of these notes I'm getting right. Not all of them. That's fine. All right. I'm going to play Misty now. I better be warmed up. I'm going to sing it too. Look at me. I'm as helpless as a kitten up a tree. And I think that I'm clinging to a cloud. I can't understand why I get misty just holding your hand. Walk my way, and 1,000 violins begin to play. Or it might be the sound of your hello. Excuse me, that music I hear. I get misty the moment you're near. You can say that you're leading me on, but it's just what I want you to do. Don't you notice how hopelessly I'm lost? That's why I'm following you. On my own, would I wander through this wonderland alone? Never knowing my right foot from my left, my hat from my glove. 'Cause I'm too misty and too much in love. Yeah, I got the singing voice down here today. We'll do a train, drops Jupiter. Can't say it. train. That's an instrument, of course. Can you read my mind from Superman the movie? All right, a little more Diet Coke left. See, it's getting quite tan, though. It's not brown. Tan. It's kind of brown. But it is neither ice cold nor terribly effervescent. It still has slight refreshment. Let's see if we can do Secret Agent Man. There's a man who leads a life of danger. With everyone he meets, he stays a stranger. With every move he makes, well, another chance he takes. Odds on he won't live to see tomorrow. Beware of pretty faces you may find. A pretty face can hide an evil mind. Oh, be careful what you say. Don't give yourself away. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret Agent Man, Secret Agent Man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. You started in the Riviera one day, then made it in a Bombay alley next day. Oh, don't let the wrong word slip when kissing persuasive lips. Odds on you won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent man, secret agent man. Well, they've given you a number and they've taken away your name. Well, look at it, it's an agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. They've taken away your name. Look at it, it's an agent man, secret agent man. This mysterious life you choose is a deadly game. Little secret agent man. All right, some more instrumentals. Dope more songs I want to do. Like Up, Up, and Away. Do that every time. up and away from the fifth dimension. And here's another song I like to do. can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Yes, I can make it now, the rain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for, and it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. And I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind, and it's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. And it's going to be a bright, sunshiny day. All right, that's it for the day. That's it for the lounge. I hope you enjoyed it. Move over here. Whee! Everything's moving. All right, I gotta start putting things away. Thanks for coming by to the stream today. We had a fun time flying around the Magni, brand new Victorious Fall content. Really nice scenery. We're going to be doing that a lot more in the future. But tomorrow we're going to be flying around more. We're going to go back to the ranch and see if how what kind of shape it's in. Frankly, my Circle B ranch in Wyoming. A little worried. It'll be fine. I'm sure we could clean it up. And I might have to shoot the horses, but we'll have to see how it goes. That'll be tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Over here, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Whatever time that is for you, it's the same time every time. Maybe a little late. Might be around noon tomorrow, actually, come to think of it, since I stay over guest tonight. And tomorrow will be, maybe around noonish. We'll be flying around in Microsoft Flight Simulator, as I mentioned. We're definitely going to be hitting up the ranch, but who knows where else we'll go. There'll be big brain games. There's going to be a short break, and tomorrow will be a guitar day. I'll probably rip out a different guitar. I'll probably go back to the fancy cheap guitar, because I'm trying to see if I can wear out the frets. They're stainless steel. Until then, I hope everybody has a wonderful, fantastic day. I'm not going to raid anyone or do anything like that. It's anything fancy today. I'm just going to hold up the rest of my Diet Coke and do the following. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Bye, everybody.